good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is Tuesday, January 19th. I hope everyone had a nice 3-day weekend. It was nice and relaxing here, although in Erie, Pennsylvania, it's a little bit snowy. We got about a foot of snow where I live yesterday, and it's still coming down really lightly right now. It's chilly out, but I guess we were due for some snow. We usually get a lot of snow here in Erie, and we've been, in my opinion, fortunate and have not had much snow yet this year except for Christmas Day, so we were deserving of some snow. With that being said, though, what is a better time to cook a nice, warm, delicious meal for dinner? I'm going to share with you a white chicken chili recipe this morning. So we're still going full force in the new year, trying to get healthy in all aspects of our lives and with our eating. So this recipe is paleo and Whole30 friendly. And now again, you don't have to be following those type of eating styles. I just tend to lean towards them because their primary basis is that they use whole natural foods, meaning they don't use a lot of ingredients that have preservatives or additives or things like that. They're natural ingredients that can make really delicious meals. So you don't have to be following those type of eating styles to be eating these recipes, though. So to get started, what you're going to need is 1 tablespoon of coconut oil or whatever oil you choose to use. I have my skillet here warming up on a low-medium heat. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil right to our pan because I'm going to start by sauteing some vegetables. Just a little bit of traditional vegetables, almost like a mirepoix. Mirepoix is a combination of onions, celery, and carrots. We're going to forego the carrots today in this recipe, but we do have some onions and celery. We'll be adding to our oil once it melts down here. And it won't take long to melt down, especially that coconut oil melts really quickly. So we have our oil melting, and then what we're going to add to this is 1 whole onion chopped and 2 stalks of celery. I've done that ahead of time in preparation, and you can do the same. So we're going to add that right to our oil, our hot oil, and we're going to saute these vegetables. We want to cook them down for approximately 5 minutes. You want them to get a little bit tender and a little bit translucent, where you can start to see through them a little bit more. That's when you know they're at a good temperature and they're ready to move on to the next step. So we're going to let that go for a few minutes here. In the meantime, I'll go over the other ingredients with you. Oh, I got a little onion peel in there. You'll also need for this recipe 1.5 pounds of chicken. It is a white chicken chili. Now, with this recipe, what you can do in about 5 minutes after you have your onions and celery sauteing for a bit, you can add your chicken right to the pan and start to cook it. If your chicken breasts are fairly thin, or if you chunk it up beforehand, maybe about 5 minutes per side. I actually had some chicken left over from a dish that I made. So I baked a whole bunch of chicken this weekend for some food prep I was doing. So I just used my chicken I already cooked and I shredded it. So either way, you can cook it right in here with your onions and your celery, or you can wait. Now, while your onions and celery are going a couple minutes in, you'll want to add a little bit of garlic. I have some minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, or you can use garlic powder as well. If you're using fresh garlic, you'll want about 4 cloves. If you're using minced, approximately a half a teaspoon is equivalent to 1 clove. So I am going to use 2 teaspoons of garlic. And we're going to put that right in. Garlic always works really well with a lot of dishes. It brings out flavor and adds a wonderful taste to your dishes as well. So once we add that in, we're still going to let our celery and our onion cook down just for a few more minutes. And then you're going to need some seasonings to go along with this. So this is a chili recipe. If you want, you can use 2 jalapeno peppers in this. Obviously, make sure you seed them really well. That's where a lot of the heat is. And take out the membrane, which is the little inner part of your peppers, and chop them up and throw them in. I'm not a heat person, so I'm going to forego that. the jalapeno peppers, but you'll also need a 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. I love these. They have the great pepper taste, a little bit of heat, but they're sweeter and not as strong. So that's what I love to use, and that's what you also need for this recipe. You'll need a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of cumin, some oregano, and salt and pepper. So not too many ingredients, just some traditional seasonings that you would put in your chili. And then for our broth, because again, this is paleo and Whole30 friendly, I'm using a organic chicken broth. And then we're going to be using a full-fat coconut milk, unsweetened, okay? And that is going to be what brings our chili and thickens our base to it. So once you have your celery and everything in there, what we're going to do at this time is we're going to turn it down just a little bit to maybe like a low-medium heat. And we're going to be adding our spices at the seasonings at this time. And let me see our measurements here. I don't want to misspeak for you. We are going to add about 2 teaspoons of our chili powder. Again, this is a white chicken chili. I left out the jalapenos, but you can add those in too. Obviously, if you're a spice person, you know how to spice it up. So add as much heat to yours as you desire. I like a low heat chili, so I am just going with the chili powder and a little bit of the cumin. And with the cumin, we want to add 1 tablespoon of the cumin. Cumin's not as strong, so I'm looking for my tablespoon. Cumin's not as strong, so it's not going to bring the heat like the chili powder or the jalapenos. So we're going to add our cumin in there. And then we're just going to add some salt and pepper. You can always add more at the end to taste. So I always just like to put some in. My pink Himalayan sea salt, and then some coarsely ground black pepper. And again, keep your vegetables moving around because you don't want them to start to brown or burn too much. So if you see that they're getting a little too brown for your liking, turn down the heat a little more. But it's just about time to add in that liquid, so that should help balance out the heat a little bit. So for our base for our soup, we are going to be using 4 cups of a chicken broth. So I'm going to add that in. Now you can use a bone broth as well if that's something you like to do. It's high in collagen, and a lot of people, it's very trendy right now with the bone broth. It's a more natural ingredient. You get it from just boiling down the bones of one of your, you can do beef bone broth, you can do chicken bone broth. There's lots of different bone broths out there. You can actually buy the bone broth at the local grocery store now as well. I'm just using a, again, organic free-range chicken broth. You can use any broth you have. So this was a 4-cup container, so we're just going to add the whole thing, but it's 4 cups chicken broth. Add that right to your white chicken chili that we got started here. And then we are going to be adding 14 ounces of a full-fat coconut milk, obviously unsweetened. So we're going to add that in next. So we want 14 ounces. And I'd already used this container, so I think I have just about, yes, I have just about that much. I might be a little shy on mine, but you want 14 ounces. And this is going to add some nice creamy texture to your white chicken chili. So what you're going to do is just keep this on the heat, and you're going to want this to simmer. At this point, whether you cooked your chicken with it or if you cooked your chicken separately, you want to take your chicken and shred it while your white chicken chili base is simmering. And then we're going to add our chicken right back in. So my 1.5 pounds of shredded chicken, I'm adding right back in. And that's really all there is to your white chicken chili. So this is a great, easy dish. It makes a lot, so you can feed a family or yourself, and then you can freeze some of it as well. again, it's Whole30 and paleo friendly. So if you're trying to eat cleaner, using ingredients that are more natural and don't have a lot of preservatives, this is a recipe for you. You could easily doctor it up. If you'd rather use a heavy cream or something like that, you can do that as well. So just remember, over time, I've taught you different substitutes, so you can make your own substitutes based on what you like to do in your eating styles. So this is, again, a great recipe for this time of year. It can sit and simmer on your stove. Let this cook for about 15 minutes, and then if you're ready to eat, you can serve it, and it'd be great garnish with things like cilantro, my favorite, or you can put avocado slices, more jalapenos, a little bit of cheese, whatever you like with your white chicken chili. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to check out the new wellness challenge at 9 a.m. We are halfway through, guys, with 21 days of wellness. It takes 21 days to make or break a habit. So you guys are doing great. Keep at it. I'll be posting it at 9 a.m. And then after that, you can get ready and jump right into Steph's Zoom Fit class at 11. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's a full day of great live activity here about health and wellness. And I hope you guys stick around. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with another great, delicious recipe. Have a good one.